You brought it. Everybody give me a hoorah! Hoorah! What's in your business today? Hoorah! Hoorah! What's in your strength? Hoorah! Hoorah! Teamwork, hoorah!
Leadership is a choice. It is not a rank.
Here's what stops the average person from being a leader, is the fear of the consequences of leading. Most people don't want the responsibility of being a leader.
If y'all gonna be great on that field, you gotta have a why. You gotta have a reason for why you do what you do.
Being a leader is sometimes the worst job in the world because you have to put yourself in some of the most uncomfortable situations of all time.
And that's where leadership matters, because it's the leader that sets the tone. When a leader makes the choice to put the safety and lives of the people inside the organization first, to sacrifice their comforts and sacrifice the tangible results so that the people remain and feel safe and feel like they belong, remarkable things happen.
Everybody has a turn back moment. You have a moment where you can go forward or you can give up. But the thing you have to keep in mind before you give up is that if you give up, the guarantee is it will never happen. That's the guarantee of quitting, that it will never happen, no way under the sun. The only way the possibility remains that it can happen is if you never give up, no matter what.
Pain is temporary. It may last for a minute or an hour or a day or even a year, but eventually it will subside and something else will take its place. If I quit, however, it will last forever.
If you stay in your comfort zone, that's where you will fail. You will fail in your comfort zone. Success is not a comfortable procedure. It is a very uncomfortable thing to attempt. So you got to get comfortable being uncomfortable if you ever want to be successful.
What's your why? Why do you wake up in the morning? Why do you put on that jersey? Why do you go out and practice? Why?
When a team takes ownership of its problems, the problems get solved. Take ownership. Take extreme ownership.
The closest analogy I can give to what a great leader is like being a parent. If you think about what being a great parent is, what do you want? What makes a great parent? Great leaders want exactly the same thing. They want to provide their people opportunity, education, discipline when necessary, build their self-confidence, give them the opportunity to try and fail, all so that they could achieve more than we could ever imagine for ourselves. And if you get the environment right, every single one of us has the capacity to do these remarkable things, and more importantly, others have that capacity too.
Look at a man the way that he is, he only becomes worse. But look at him as if he were what he could be, then he becomes what he should be.
When we feel safe inside the organization, we will naturally combine our talents and our strengths and work tirelessly to face the dangers outside and seize the opportunities.
When you go to their level and respect what they do and show them respect for what they do and how they do it, man, it's a powerful thing. That could make a group of people so much better collectively than they ever would have been individually.
When a leader speaks, things change. Healings takes place. People have hope, and there's hope in the future that gives you power in the present. When a leader speaks, bones begin to start moving. Great leaders engage fear in the unknown and transform that fear into confidence.
All of you have extraordinary capabilities. All of you. You have to decide if you are willing to do the things to put you in that category.
You're crazy, I know. You're out of your mind, absolutely. Gotta be out of your mind to see what I see, and think what I think, and speak what I speak. Because I'm a leader.
So we created this video which depicts who we are as a company. We're not just your average company. If we were, we wouldn't be doing all hands meetings. We wouldn't be investing in infrastructure. We wouldn't tirelessly be doing things like this where we're working as a team to overcome our challenges and changing our mindset. We wouldn't. We would just go on with our day like everybody else, kind of trying not to bash into the walls too much, just going by your day every day. And you could live like that, and that's okay. And, just go get groceries and bring the food home and cook the food and then eat the food and then sit on the couch and watch some TV and get numbed by what's on TV and then get tired, go to sleep, wake up, brush your teeth, and press repeat. You could do that. And then, everybody's in line to die, right? So at some point, the repeat won't repeat, and then life's over. Now, you can live that life or not. And why we created this video is because once you realize that life could be so much more, once you realize if you work and you play and you surround yourself with great people, life doesn't have to be on repeat. And at Roma, when I looked at the company, some 12, 13 years ago, before becoming CEO of the company, as many of you know, I didn't love what I was doing. I didn't love who I was doing it with. I didn't love why I was doing it. I just did it, and I was on repeat. And this video, when I decided to create it, it came to me as I was working out. And as many of you know, I listen to many different people who do, really great motivational speeches, but I picked a select number of people in the narrative behind this video who I believe are doing remarkable things. Whether it's Les Brown. If you've ever heard of Les Brown, you should check him out. They thought he was, mentally ill and that he would never amount to nothing. And yet he's filling arenas around the world, giving people hope. It's so cool, right? Simon Sinek talking about what leadership is and what leadership isn't. And I thank God we live in a world where there are these people talking about how you can live a way better life than a rinse and repeat life. And I like to believe over the last 12 years we've been doing a great job at the various different tasks. And this video for me represents all of you. It just so happens to have a subset of people within the company. And by the way, when we did this Tough Mudder race last year in September, a friend of mine said, why don't you do a race? And I never had heard about the race. And I'm like, I'm in, because I just love the way you're living your life. Like you're living a bountiful life, a life of abundance, a life of no limits. He inspired me to think different, open my mindset, get in the best health I can be in. It's not perfect, but I'm working at it. And then what's beautiful is I put it out to the company, as many of you know, and I asked, who wants to do this race with me? It's a 10-kilometer race, and right when I just said 10 kilometers, people were like, all right, I'm out. And then normal people would say that, but they didn't. And I said, it's gonna be a race, it's gonna challenge your mindset, it's gonna challenge you, it's gonna challenge you as a person, it's gonna build leadership, it's gonna expand your mindset, it's gonna make you really uncomfortable, and you're gonna have a lot of fun. And then slowly but surely, everybody began to pop, right? And you can see the manifestation in that video of what's possible. And what's cool about that video is we're all working together as a group. And that's really representational of what we do here every day. Leadership isn't just one person. Leadership is a mindset. And leadership is it truly is about inspiring confidence in people. We just purchased some new infrastructure, capital, machinery, quite extensive investment in machinery. And it could be scary. It could be very different. It is very different. But I love the way our team's embracing it. It's not perfect, and we're going to go slow to go fast. But I love that we have a group of collective people who are putting up their hands and saying, I want to learn. How do I learn? I want to try it. I don't know if I'm going to be good at it, but I want to try it. I'll tell you, folks, there are companies paying tons of money to try to change people's mindset just to raise their hand. And here we have people at our company, wanting to learn, wanting to test their boundaries, people who have never joined a frame before. So great leadership is about inspiring confidence in others. And then great leadership is also about moving people into action. It's great to inspire, and everybody gets all jazzed up, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so inspired. But taking that first step, yeah, I want to try that. Yeah, I want to do that. Yeah, I want to be part of that. Yeah, it scares the heck out of me, but I'm in. You want to build a company that's in it for the next decade, 2 decades, 5 decades? You need that mindset. And I believe we've achieved it over the last 13 years. Although we're on the brink of our 40th year next year, it's 4 decades of challenges, trials, tribulations, tears, blood, sweat, everything, laughter, parties. It couldn't be possible without great leadership. And when I say leadership, leadership from everyone within the company. And it's magic when I see day in, day out how we help support one another. We had an individual in because we bought a machine, and some of you may have seen him. He came in, and first of all, asking him to come in for a meeting was a big deal. He's like, let's just do a Zoom. I'm like, we ain't Zoom people. It's kind of why we're doing this live. We're not Zoom people. We want to see you. We want to feel. We want to not touch you, but we want to see you. And so they came in, and they seen myself and Michael and Carmen and a number of others just getting into action on how do we make this machine work for us. And he pulled me aside after and he said, I get it. I get why you wanted me to come in. This ain't a company. This is a family. You guys actually care about one another. You guys actually work as a team. And it's brilliant. For me, those accolades are really the litmus test as to whether we're doing a great job or not. Everything else will be fixed and we'll figure it out. But when people from outside can come in our company and say those testimonials right to my face, it's not like they're trying to get new business. We had bought the machine. Typically, you go in businesses and you're like, wow, there are so many miserable people here. Just do it yourself. Next time you're at a grocery store, just look at the people. Like, I don't know what's happened to people. They don't smile at you anymore. They don't say, hey, can I open that door for you anymore? They don't help you pack that bag anymore. What happened to that? But I can say here, as we sit here, we're the polar opposite. We are abnormal. Congratulations. We're abnormal. What we do here is very different. And you should all be proud. Because Roma is my second home, and I hope you feel it's your second home. Because I would dread the fact that you wake up every day saying, oh, geez, I got to come to work. That's got to be, and I felt it in my life 12, 13 years ago, where I'm like, oh, man, I got to, bless you. Oh, man, I got to go to work. Oh, man, and I hate the people, and oh, I hate the machines, and I hate, like that will get you sick very fast. Like if you're working for the weekend, you're doing something fundamentally wrong in your life, and it's not going to serve you. And I even tell people within our own company, if this isn't serving you, we'll figure it out. We'll maybe find you a new home. I don't know, but I just don't want you not feeling great about coming into work. Now, it doesn't mean you're skipping every day coming in. You're going to have challenging times, kind of like a marriage, right? I'd like to say every day with my wife is perfect. It's not. But over the sum of it, yeah, I love my wife. I love my kids. So I want to kill them sometimes, yeah. But I'm not going to trade them in for nothing. And that's, folks, what we're trying to do here. And so I ask myself one quintessential question constantly. It's constant in my head. And the question is, what makes a great leader? Because I have a huge responsibility. Ultimately, if something goes wrong, I own it. And then if something goes wrong in packaging, someone owns it. If something goes wrong with IT, Peter owns it. If something goes wrong with finance, Mike, we all own a certain component of what we do, right? And my constant question is, what makes a great leader? Like, ask yourself, what makes a great leader? And so what comes to mind for me is courage. Courage is important in leadership. The courage to forge ahead. And I thank God that men and women before us had courage. And you guys know me, I love Martin Luther King. I love what he stands for. But imagine the courage it took to stand up in 1954, for the better part of a decade, and overcome the adversities and the ridicule and the death threats and the ridicule to his family and everything. And it's unimaginable. I can't say, I feel your pain. I don't. It's uncomprehendable. I can pretend to know, but I don't actually know what he went through. And then what great leadership is all the 200,000 other people who came on that amazing day to hear him speak. By the way, that was before cell phones, text messages, Zoom, all those things. Like, people came because they felt it and they wanted fundamental change. So I believe courage is a major component. And at Roma, do we have courage? Hell yeah. Do we have courage to challenge the conventional wisdom? Do we have courage to shut down the company right now as we speak and go live and talk about all the good, the bad, and the ugly about our company? I think that takes courage. And not everybody has it, and that's okay, but it takes courage. Something else that's really near and dear to me as I contemplated leadership was determination. Like a will, like this burning desire. And who came to mind for me is Sir Winston Churchill. It's an incredible story. Many of you know I'm a World War II junkie, love learning about the tactics of war, understanding why we went to war, what happened, the Allies, all that, and everything in between, and the atrocities, which are even hard to speak of. But I want to bring you back to, it was September in 1940, if we can. Probably, I don't think anybody was alive here. So the Luftwaffe Nazi bombers bombed London for 57 days and nights consecutively. Just think of how long 57 days is of constant bombardment, of constant, all we're going to do is create destruction. And like, we think London, but think of your home. It's like Vaughan or LA or Atlanta or Jersey or Toronto, just constantly bombarded for 56 nights and actually 57 days of nonstop. And it was also way worse at night. And you guys know about the Great Fire in London, because it didn't have time. And in September you could feel the winds are picking up because we're going into the fall. And so imagine, and heat, propels heat. And it was so hot that imagine how many people perished. And even in the bunkers was hot, because the ground, as it gets hot, it goes down, and people in some cases were burned alive just from the heat. But why I'm bringing this up is not to be a downer, is because it was one of the greatest speeches in history. If you haven't heard it from Winston Churchill, it's incredible. He said, "We will prevail. We will not be on our knees. We will fight." Like, if you think of 57 consecutive nights and bombardments and things are on fire, and he must have got with his inner circle and said, "My people of London, of the UK, we're gonna fight. It's either we fight or we die or we surrender." And he fought, and thank God that he fought, because you have to get that Europe was under Nazi control. There was no France and Italy, and it was Nazi Germany, and their last enemy was the UK, and they wanted to go there, and he said that we won't make that happen. And in fact, in his speech, he said, it's not only up to us. So that determination, it's not only up to us for our land, but for the lands of all free nations around the world. I thank God he stood up. We know how history played out. The Allies got together. They stormed the beaches on Normandy. They overtook France, kept going east. The Russians came from kept going east. The Russians came from the west. And you know what happened? And thank God, or else we would be a very different nation. And lastly, hope. And I talked a little bit about the definition of leadership, and the definition in my mind is inspiring confidence and inspiring hope. Because if you have hope, the minute you have no hope, you die. So think of tomorrow getting diagnosed with cancer. Just think of it. Could happen. Could happen to me. Could happen to you. Could happen to your kids. Could happen to anybody. The minute you lose hope in survival is the minute you start to let cancer take over your life, or any disease. I'm just using cancer. And I think hope for me is represented by this young lady. You might not know her, but if you don't, I'm going to put her on stage right now. Her name is Yeomin Park. She's from North Korea, born in North Korea. Many of you know North Korea is on a horrible, harsh communist dictatorship. And I had the pleasure of listening to Yeoman Park speak at a conference I was at in South Carolina last year. Folks, I was in tears. And so I'll tell you her story very briefly. Her and her mother couldn't do it anymore. There was famine all over the nation in North Korea, and there's many atrocities. They revert to cannibalism in some regard. It is a horrible, horrible place on earth, and I hope it gets liberated by some point. But her and her family suffered immensely. And instead of staying there and dying and eating God knows what, she made a plea bargain. Her mother and her made a plea bargain to be sold into the sex trade in China. So think about this for a second, why I had tears. Her mother had to make the decision, do I keep my daughter here and die, or do I face some other challenge? At least I live and I don't know what's going to happen. So people are pushed to limits we cannot comprehend. But I talk about hope, because she still had hope. She could have said, you know what? We're doomed. Let's eat the dog. Let's eat whatever, the cat. Let's eat the arm. Let's eat whatever, a piece of wood. I don't know. But she said that's not going to happen. So she was sold into the sex trade as she was smuggled out, human trafficked, out of North Korea. And it's not easy to get smuggled out of North Korea. She got smuggled into China, was sold into the sex slave. She was 14 years old. And her mother was a little bit older, obviously. And so I don't have to tell you what the sex trade, slave trade looks like. But her mother needed to have something more. They needed something. This can't be my life. And through one way or the other, with grit and determination and hope and courage, she figured out another way to get smuggled out. And she thought she was otherwise being sold to new sex slave traders who were going to bring her across the Mongolian desert, which, if any of you know, the Mongolian desert is one of the harshest climates on the face of this earth. And even if you could make it through the Mongolian desert, your chances of living are very, very nil. So here's some 14-year-old and her mother trying to escape. Well, what she later knew, once she got sold again, and they brought her through the Mongolian desert. They said, we're missionaries. We're missionaries. They were Christian missionaries that, they were Christian missionaries that bought her freedom. So that's a picture of me. Last year, because she had hope. And she's speaking, and she's like, well, hope. And you gotta, believe anything, and you can do, and I'm like, what? I don't know if you could tell. I mean, the screen makes me a little more red, but it was phenomenal. And we talk about courage, and we talk about determination. That's, I'm like 0.1% of this human. So I think it's important we talk about these things. And you might say, how does this translate to Roma? So welcome to All Hands Meeting 37. I bring these things up because as a collective group, it inspires me. And believe it or not, they say be careful what you do because you might be inspiring others. Be careful what you do in your life. Be careful who you're being, because someone somewhere is looking up to you. Yeoman Park doesn't know we're having her on stage right now. She doesn't know, and she doesn't know that she's inspiring a whole new group of individuals. And I don't care if this inspires one of you to have hope, because right now you might be dealing with a parent who's undergoing chemo, or you might be going through challenges of your own. But I just want you to remember, as a company, we're winning not because we have the best products or the best infrastructure or the best internet or the best website. In some cases we do, but that's not why we're winning. And that's not why we're going to continue to win. We're winning because of all of you. We're winning because of your determination. We're winning because of your courage. We're winning because of your ability to take new challenges on, learn new things, try new things, expand your own horizons. If you get a group of people like that, and you just pour more love, more inspiration, and more, ability to just overcome what otherwise they thought was impossible, the sky's the limit. And I'll tell you, as we stand here today, there are many people looking at us and saying, what a company. There are many people inspired about what we're doing. And as a matter of fact, our customers have gravitated and have shifted over the years. They've shifted. Our customers are by and large the best customers in this industry. And our new customer base that we're continuously growing into are coming to us for this very reason, that we're different. We're different. There's a feeling of something very different. And so I'm really happy to say All Hands Meeting 37 is on, and it's live. This is a live show with a live audience. It's been 3.5 years that the world shut us down. And while others said, you're crazy, just do it, record it, it's easy, it's fun, it's blah, blah, blah. We're like, yeah, that's for normal people. We're not normal. We're going to challenge conventional wisdom. We're going to get up here, we're going to dust ourselves off, and we're going to do what we do best, and we're going to inspire today. So on that note, I want to jump right into All Hands Meeting 37. So I want to take you down memory lane a little. By the way, who's excited to be here today? Thank you. I'm super excited, and I get super emotional about leadership and about all of you. Because I don't know about you, but that video was pretty epic. And that video represents, who we are as a company. So going back in memory lane, folks, the world is changing. And it's going to take great leadership to get us into the next decade. And we all know by turning on the TV, leadership is broken around the world. This world's a messed up place. And we're only going to get better if we get strong, really passionate leaders to change this world. So let's look at the last 10 years. The last 10 years saw Tesla come to the forefront, the company Tesla. We saw Airbnb come to the table. We saw Waze come to the table. Who remembers printing out MapQuest? Anybody? Or Google Maps, right? Or what's those? Pearlies? Ross, you'd know. Pearlies. Maps, and it was fun times. We've also saw Instacart, people purchasing groceries online. That was so funny. During COVID, you couldn't go in grocery stores and the whole 9 yards. And here's my mom ordering, cabbage and toast bread, and she's driving up. I love this. And like a year ago, she's like, I'll never do this. It's just funny how necessity is the mother of all inventions. So we saw Instacart, we saw TikTok, and we know what's happening with TikTok. There's a lot of good and bad on TikTok. We saw the likes of Uber, the largest taxi service in the world, doesn't own a taxi. It's kind of cool. We saw Zoom. Who's tired of Zoom? Who's tired of Zoom? I'm tired of Zoom. And Zoom represents, Teams and all that other fun stuff. But I'll tell you, it's pretty cool that you can open your laptop or your phone and talk to your loved ones in a far off, in wherever they're from. And we saw Netflix. Just a show of hands, how many people here have Netflix? Ooh, it's a good 55%, maybe 60%. So I call this the Netflix generation. My kids love Netflix. They don't have cable. They don't know cable. It's just so funny from where I went, from where, and I'm 44, from that generation watching Who's the Boss, Growing Pains, and waiting either every night for another episode and being splattered with commercials to now binge watching a season in 2 days. Like my daughter will watch Full House just on repeat. Season 18, 19, 20, it's like ridiculous, right? I call them the Netflix generation because it's a challenging place. Now, if they see a commercial like that, what's this? Like take this commercial. Like literally even on the app, when there's a commercial, they're like, yeah, Dad, I don't understand this. I'm like, yeah, those are commercials. The pause for a sec, but they want it now. They're like, Dad, I want, this, or, oh, Dad, I want this. And then the movie, like we had to go open a movie, Disney, put in Cinderella, rewind it, put it there, press play, boom, movie. No, Dad, just put boom, Cinderella. Like it's scary, but it's progress. So I want to fast forward a bit to 2030. So the year's 2030, we're at All Hands Meeting 60, gonna get a fever. But But this is what people are talking about well into the future. So they believe space travel is going to be a thing, right? They believe space travel will be a thing, and it's already a thing, but they're thinking of it being a far bigger thing. Human robotics. It's crazy. I don't know if you know the likes of ChatGPT and a number of other AI sites and stuff like that. It's scary where we're headed. And I don't know, I watch sometimes on TikTok, this automatic dog is walking, and it's like a robot, scary as hell. But yeah, where will the world be in the next 7 to 10 years? They're talking, there was talks about colonization of Mars. Now it's actually becoming a thing. And although there's a fictitious picture, but what would that look like? And then what are the learnings there that we can bring back here? I think it'd be cool. Autonomous vehicles. I think self-driving cars are a thing today, but I think they're going to be a far bigger thing. I think cars will change. They'll be more like a living room rather than a everybody sit front look. I think they'll be swiveled. You'll be able to do work. It'd be cool to drive to work and I don't have to, look up and do work while we're doing it. Hyperloop, we talked about that some time ago, but this is now a thing. They are testing Hyperloop from LA to San Francisco, which is incredible. And the likes of virtual reality, augmented reality, the cool thing there is if there's a very important surgery that needs to happen, say in the UK, we can get doctors from India, China, Russia, Canada, the US, all converging on VR while some people are there. It could unlock some really, really cool things. Wearable tech, I think that's going to be a thing. I'm not inserting chips in here, but I just think that's a thing. And then this one's kind of gross, but lab-grown meats. I'm going to go on record. I'm against lab-grown meats, but the world is changing. That's what this picture depicts for me. The world is changing. We need to change with it, and I think we have in so many ways. Like when I look at the last 10 years. And smart homes. I think homes will become a lot smarter. I don't know if the people in them are going to be smarter, but the home itself is going to be smarter. So what does that mean for Roma? So I want to walk you through. So the last 10 years, we had weak tech infrastructure. It was okay, and we were okay with okay. We heavily leveraged a fax machine. We're having a fax going away party at the end of this month. So for customers that want to join live, we should probably do it a live event. We put it here. We have a funeral. I think it's going to be really cool. Folks, we mailed out thousands of price lists. Where's Mary? Mary, are you here? Yeah, Mary. Mary was here when we mailed out thousands. I'm talking tens of thousands. Rita, where are you? Where's Rita? Rita, yeah. Okay. Rita herself probably mailed out 40,000 price lists in her life, not to mention the catalogs and all those fun things. We had no Wi-Fi 10 years ago. It's crazy to think how far we've come we had no Wi-Fi. And we mailed monthly statements. I thought that was fun. Mary and Michael told me, oh yeah, and we used to mail statements. I'm like, what? When did we stop that? Like last week. I'm not kidding. But it feels like it. And we had subpar customer experience. I don't think customer experience was on our radar. We just want to sell stuff and make some profit. And it was a very different company. So I want to tell you about some of the things we have done in the last, I would say, year to year and a half, which have and will continuously fundamentally change the customer experience, both internally for our BPS team and for our customer base. So our online experience has changed dramatically. So by the way, we have the best web development team ever, along with our marketing team. When you fuse those in and then you bring in the customer experience team, and then even Michael shows up once in a while, the team itself has done a remarkable job with our website. But here's some stats before we go into our web. 88% of online consumers are less likely to return to a site after one, not 5, one bad experience. And now I'll encourage you, go to all our competitor sites, because I've perused them all in the last 2 years. I know them intimately, very intimately. They're front-facing websites. But that number's staggering. So 88% of the time someone comes, one bad experience, it's game over. This is another interesting one. 75% of consumers admit to judging how credible the credibility of a company by their website. It's crazy. Now, this can also fool you, right? So I purchased pants online from, they were some cool jogging pants from some app, and I bought them and they disintegrated in like a week, right? But their website was really good. So we got to watch about the deception out there. Good thing is we have customers who know the brand and trust the brand. But 75% judge us just on our website. And this one's a really cool one. 5 seconds it takes for a user to determine their opinion, whether they stay or bounce off the website. And here's our website. Our website today is, by and large, the best website in the industry to what we know. We've done extensive research. We don't have all the stats because it's been 2 months or so, I think under 2 months, 60 days that it's been live with constant updates every day. The speed of the site. So I said, Dave, our head of development, I said, Dave, give me some milliseconds. He's like, I can't give you a millisecond. I just know it's really, really fast. And he said, Google ranked us on the top 90th percentile of all websites globally. I think that's pretty cool. Even though I don't know exactly what that means, it just sounds really cool. But the fact of the matter is, the website in itself, although we have a web team developing, this is a company-wide, and our sales team have had huge input, customer care, and many different people. And when you go on our website, you're able to sort and filter by almost anything you've ever wanted. You're able to toggle in, you're able to make the things bigger, smaller. It's pretty phenomenal. We created the industry's first wide navigation bar. So right there, when you press products, you get the whole catalog right there. It's beautiful, very interactive, very intuitive, and very easy to use. We've also increased the space capacity of our products. So now you're seeing 3 or 4 images of the products, depending on the product. You're also, down below, you get a cross-section of what it is. And then all on the side is your panel, where we talk about the dimensions, the attributes, what it's available in, our sustainability message, which is really cool. And that's where we partner with the Nature Conservancy and One Tree Planted. You guys heard me talk about that. Some great numbers there. Care instructions. So very intuitive, and it answers a lot of the questions people had, like, how do I clean the frame? Well, we have it right there. Gallery frames, we've added the category of gallery frames. We've also added the category of contract molding. So we're certainly in the contract business, people who do volume work. This is offsetting some of the competitor kind of pricing, and we're very aggressive in this area. So you're able just to see here everything. We're giving you a depiction of it, but the speed in which you could find things is remarkable. And then the order entry. So this in and itself took months to develop, back and forth, a lot of battles, a lot of, no, it shouldn't be this way, it shouldn't be that way. But it's a seamless approach to an online ordering portal. And then one of the huge features that we've created here, and Ross and a few others will talk about it, is we've shared exact live to the second inventory on those products. So when you see, in this case, it'll say LA has 272 feet, you can click and you can actually have the ability to have it routed yourself without calling us from another DC that maybe has 2,000 feet or whatever the case is. So just been phenomenal. And here's what one of our partners had to say. So this is one of our partners. This is from one of the calls we got. Here's what he had to say.
I've always mean to tell you this, and it seems to get better and better every time I go on it, but whoever organizes and maintains your website, it's probably the best one in the industry. If you want to share that feedback with anybody. Just the detail and the fact that you have, kind of real-time footages on there, it's awesome. It's wow. To quote the big boy.
They're using our lingo.
Wow. Okay, I will definitely pass that on.
There you go.
Right.
So, we don't like to be too boastful, but it's important that you guys hear what some of our customer base is saying. And that's one of many. I mean, Tanya had many. That's one of many of the great accolades from our partner base who are saying, listen, every time I'm going to the site, it keeps improving. every day, believe it or not, Dave and the dev team are just constantly making tweaks and improvements, for that experience to be far better. So what does the future look like on web? I think this is very, very, very important. We are heavily leveraged in this tech space. We want to be far ahead of the competition. So one of the things we're working on right now is intelligent search. So really, really not just like smart search, but really intelligent search. And Dave's going to kill me for saying this, but I would like voice activated search. So I don't know if you've ever done that before, but like people now don't go, Google, I don't know, tell me the name of this apple. They're pressing a button and saying, hey Siri, I better not do it. Hey Siri, where is Lincoln Park or whatever the case may be. The dream there is that now our customers, kind of like Michael Knight. Do you guys remember Michael Knight? What was that show called? Knight Rider, where he's, hey Kit, bring the car here. It's kind of going to be the same thing. And we joked about, one day wouldn't it be cool if you could just say, I remember with Joey on this day, okay, give me a corner sample. And now, we're not far off from that. Now Dave said, do not make promises. So I'm not going to make promises, Dave, but that's where we're headed. We're going into dark mode. So I don't know if, I think this is kind of a cool, geeky tech thing, but we'll have dark mode on our website enabled very soon. Stock notifications. This one's a big one. So in the odd case, and it happens even to us, in the odd occurrence that we have zero stock in a distribution center and the customer doesn't want to reroute it from a different distribution center, they're either able right now to see when that stock's going to become available. So we're going to be embedding some intelligence in there, right, Ross? Partnering with our Italian suppliers to have intelligence to say, today's March 16, 17, it's going to come the week of April 14th. So we'll be that step ahead in intelligence. Now, if the boat sinks, I'm sure someone will forgive us on that, but and then what we're also working towards is having an email notification. So say we don't have a vessel or we don't have a date yet, you're able to put your email there, and when SAP, our ERP system, flushes the inventory back into stock, Carm will be notified, yep, we just got 5,000 feet. Would you like to place that order with this button? Bang. And then you can place that order. Very simple. So we're trying to integrate some intelligence there. It's going to be very, very exciting. And optimizing the order experience. This is a constant, take a few steps forward, a few steps back. And you may have seen this. We pushed some updates yesterday that help people who may want to order a product and you're able to keep it on back order or cancel it. Like, we really are going nitty gritty on that experience. And I got to say, it's fantastic working with, the likes of Dave and Rob and Michael and Tanya and Teresa and a number of other people. Sorry if I didn't say your name, Peter. How are we optimizing? How do we remove that friction? It goes back to the grocery store analogy. Wouldn't it be cool at a grocery store if they removed the friction? And friction is all the noise in the customer experience, where it's seamless, or when you go into a bank, or when you go into a hotel. Going into a hotel should just be something like, hi, I'm Tony, I'm here, click, and then your keys kind of come out, and then you can go to your room. Instead, there's these lineups. Lineups are friction. Then pull your ID, get me this, get me that. Like, so much friction. How do we remove it? That is what we do all day. That is what we're trying to improve here at Roma. And so if anybody does have ideas, because I know a lot of our great tech, but a lot of our great ideas throughout the company certainly don't come from me. I am not the smartest guy in the room, by and large. I'm surrounded by really smart people. So we created web support. We've had it, but we want you to really look at web support at romamolding.com. If there is something that perhaps we overlooked, if there is something that you would love as pie in the sky, and believe me, pie in the sky in your mind might not be pie in the sky in development today. We've seen like they're making meat in labs and people are ingesting it. So there's no stupid idea. I highly, highly, highly encourage, send an email to websupport@romamolding.com. This goes, where's Peter? Is Peter here? Pete, thank you. This goes to me as well, right? Yes, thank you. So it goes to a number of us. I just want to know if it goes to me. So this actually goes to me as well. I'm going to read every one of them. I want to see and how we can push ourselves, how we can challenge our conventional wisdom. And I know some of you are right on this. You're probably texting me right now. But let us know what that support looks like. So moving along, we talked about how the world is changing. We talked about the world needing great leaders, and we talked about Roma being that leader in this industry. When we decided to step back from the trade show business, we got so much flack, and then they did the trade show and it collapsed. When we decided not to print another catalog, we got so much slack, and then we came up with a website, and then all was okay. When we decided to enable all partners to see stock and to be able to change their route of where they get it and blah, 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 like they thought we were crazy, and it's only crazy until it's done, and then everybody else follows. But that's who we are, guys. As leaders, that's who we are, and it's a hard place to be, right? You're always trailblazing. Wouldn't it be easy you just go down this route? It's nice and smooth, it's open, but that's not who we are, and that's not what you signed up for when you joined our company. And by the way, that the fact that you're here, you either get ignited by that and you do it in your personal home life, or over time you will eject from our company because you're going to feel abnormal in a company that challenges the status quo all the time. So the more we polarize, the more we get people who believe in what we believe, and that's what we want. Now, we don't all want to walk, in the single line. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about how do we keep challenging each other, because that's how we're going to get better. And so I want to move on to product development. This quote's really cool. Design is the silent ambassador of your brand, and it's so true, right? Because I'm not always there to talk about our new Lavo or Arbor or Molto or whatever the brands are, or simply Roma or Roma Contract. They have to speak for themselves if they're good. And some really cool stats: 72% of our current customer base, 72, almost 3/4 of our entire customer base selected our new products in January. It's a huge number. That typically is far beyond what the industry average is, 72%. And we still have, much work to do because we're only 2 months in to our new product development or to our new product launch. We've shipped over 35,000 samples of this new product alone, just of the new product, 35,000 samples. And I know there's tons in the hopper in LA, in Atlanta, and certainly in Toronto. And 45,000 represents how much linear feet we've shipped thus far. Not a bad number, seeing that we're about 2.5 months into 2023. And the numbers are looking good. The feedback has been phenomenal. I get calls, texts. I don't know, people text us in Facebook and then Instagram and then Twitter. Like it's all over the place, and we're so blessed. But we have a few testimonials from some of our partners. And why we do this: number one, we love our partners. Number two, it's important you hear what they say. Because if I just hold it to me, oh, really cool, then it's like, whatever. But we're sharing this so you guys get a feel for what they say. And also, in what we have, you feel proud about what you're putting out. Whether you're the picker and picking that product, or whether you're chopping that product, whether you're assembling it, whether you're packing it, I hope you feel the sense of pride. Because once upon a frame in Solana Beach, California, when they receive it, this is what they say.
For art that is looking for simple elegance, Molto is the answer. Its clean lines, subtle curves, and polished metallic finish will always deliver beautifully.
So once upon a frame in Solana Beach, they're beautiful people, great customer of ours. Absolutely love the Molto collection. When we asked of the collections, which could you what would you like to say about it? They came and they told us this beautiful, depiction of what they thought of how versatile this product was. And we're so grateful. And so we have one per collection. This is our Lavo. Frame Chicago. So probably customer care, and probably some people in the U.S. might know. Show of hands, who knows Frame Chicago? Anybody? A few of us? Okay. This is how you raise your hands. Hi. Hi. Yeah? All right. Yeah, Frame Chicago, they're badass. Like, if you're not following them on social media, you're missing out. They're so much fun. They have parties every month in their gallery. what I love, it's a family run and operated business. Shafiq, there's his dad, there's his son, there's the daughter. Like, it's like the Partridge Family meets custom framing, meets like coolness. They're beautiful humans and a huge ambassador of our brand. We love them so much. Here's what they had to say about Lavo.
I absolutely love the Lavo bright colored frames. The newest cap profile, which was recently released, is an amazing addition to the incredible launch. The versatile sizing and color options are perfect for nearly every work of art. These are my favorite products to sell all day, every day.
Now, you might think that's Ross's voice, yes? Ross doesn't work for Frame Chicago, or at least I don't think he does. And it's not his doppelganger. Is that the word? Double? No? No, Tanya, too soon in the day? All right. Anyways, no, so we asked some people in our team to do voiceovers because the customer's a bit shy. But yeah, just beautiful people. And they do some of the incredible works of art with our products. Again, check them out online. You'll love them. Wyoming Art and Frame, these are beautiful souls as well. They love our Arbor collection. This is what they said.
We refer to the new Arbor collection as refined rustic when our customers are looking for a sophisticated, clean, and classic yet countryside look. It's light and joins beautifully.
So again, Tanya's not in their company either, but did the voiceover. And our last, but certainly not least, Eleganza. This is from Framed, from Montrose, California. Here's what they had to say.
We found the Eleganza shagreen line is loved by our local interior designers. We have a beautiful display highlighting the fox shagreen with black liner around an Ansel Adams black and white photograph of the Grand Tetons. This line sells itself.
Cool. By the way, show of hands, who loves this collection? Anybody? Yeah? Okay, cool. And then here's my second trivia. Whose voice was that? Okay, this is good. See, we actually know each other. Who loves Sasha? Yeah, now you put your hands up, right? Yeah. All right, cool. We love you, Sasha. Cool. So our social community's lit up. And by the way, I want to thank all of you for supporting us online. I want to thank all our BPS team, our US team members, our Italian team members who are in Italy making products, and to our families. I see family members commenting. Social media has been lit up with our products. The engagement is through the roof. People are taking our products and making TikTok videos. They're like, the creativity in this marketplace is phenomenal. And I thank God, like, you know, this wasn't possible 10 years ago. We kind of would show the product, but this speaks loud and true. And by the way, Melissa could have put like 20 of them up, maybe 50, 100 of them up here. We just have a small cross section. Obviously, Lavo is really well loved, Molto and a few others. So yeah, a lot of love and social, and we're just getting started. So on product development, do want you to know we are going to have a summer collection. So I'm going to announce that right here, right now. We're having a summer collection, and it is going to be phenomenal. I'm not sure how big it's going to be, but I think it's going to be bigger than the average bear, meaning I think it's going to be bigger than it was last year. But we got a lot of product in the pipes. We're not taking the pedal off the metal. They might be saying interest rates are rising and the world's going to crumble and Russia's going to do this and U.S. is going to do, like, who cares? That's all noise. We're going to do what we do best. We're going to make the world's most beautiful products. We're going to have them in our facilities, and they're going to adorn the walls of some of the most discerning homes, galleries, institutions around the world. And so that's my commitment. And I hope that through the message this morning, you're really hearing an undercurrent as I about to exit the stage and pass the baton on to fellow team members. What we're doing here is really special. What we're doing here is not for the faint at heart. We're leading an industry, and that's a huge responsibility. It's easy to follow. It's super easy, and you know, many people can follow, but not many people can lead. And now it's also not something to say, I'm going to lead. Yeah, that's all, I call those drunken sailors. Yeah, we're gonna yeah, and then, all right, let's go to the race. What race? Oh, no, I'm not racing. What do you mean, new molding? Oh, I'm not doing it. What do you need? New machine? I'm not touching that. What do you mean, new website? I'm not going there. What do you mean, we're not using the fax machine? That's not our language. That's not our verbiage. We're not okay with okay. We're constantly challenging the status quo. We're constantly inspiring, inspiring confidence in our customers, and we're inspiring each other. By the way, when you put your hand up, I want to learn, guess what happens? Someone else says, well, if he could do it, I could. Can you finish that sentence? If he could do it, I could. It's just that simple. You know how they break world records? Someone does it and says, well, if he could do it. It's kind of like why Michael joined Tough Mudder, right? He saw Ross is doing it. He's like, if Ross could do it, I could do it. Kind of. It's midday. We can go there. Anyways, I want to thank you for your time thus far. I want to call up Michael. Oh, no, Tuesday Talks. Oh, shit. Oops. So we have... This is a family show. This is a live family show. We have 6-second delay. I do want to talk Tuesday Talks. I'm going to go lightning speed and then I'm going to get off. So Tuesday Talks, guys, a lot of fun. As you guys know, we've started the show over 3 years ago. We had roughly around 90 episodes. Believe it or not, 90 episodes under our belt. Like, it's a big deal. I met some of the most beautiful people. I now can call them friends. They text me. It's a beautiful thing. But these numbers are incredible. I didn't see these numbers until Mel put them on our radar. 325,000 views of Tuesday Talks thus far. And we started out with this, hey, we're going to bring the community together. If we get 10 people, that would be cool. And if we get 20, that would be cool. We're at 325,000. And the oddest thing just happened to me. Someone reached out to me. I don't know who they are. And they have this business. I think they're in Chicago. Tanya would know. I called her. Anyways, they said, I've been watching your Tuesday Talks forever. And I love it. And from CEO to CEO, I just wanted to call you and I want a meeting with you. And how do we partner together? I don't even know why. I want to partner with you guys. I love what you're doing. And I said early on, be careful what you do because you might be inspiring somebody. And here we are, 325,000. And 20,000 are the total interactions. People pay a lot of money to Google, Mr. Zuckerberg, Facebook to get these stats. This is all organic. All organic. So meaning natural. We don't pay to get these. And this is some of the likes of some of the characters that we get to play with. Amazing creators, whether they're framers or designers or photographers or sculptors. And boy, do we have an incredible season that we're going to do in season 4. We're gonna up the ante on season 4. I know Mel's working in the background with Courtney and a few others. Like, we want to get people bashing down barriers. We want to get people who otherwise were told they could never use their limb, but are now selling art because they paint either with their mouth, there's crazy stories out there, and we just want to put them on a pedestal. I'm just the guy putting them there. The story's all about them. So just stay tuned. Season 4 is going to be amazing. So now I'd like to call up Tanya Ferraro.
Thank you, Tony. This work. Wow, what a great show so far. Welcome everybody. For those of you online that don't know who I am, I'm Tanya Ferraro, the customer experience leader, and I'm up here to talk about my favorite topic, the customer experience. So before we get into some stats and some details of what we're doing, I found a little interesting tidbit. Did you know that culture in Latin means to care? I didn't, and I think that's pretty cool because it kind of ties in with our culture. And we're very, particular and selective on who we select to join our team because at the end of the day, we want to make sure that our team cares about what they do, cares about our partners. So I think it's pretty cool that culture, means to care. So I want to move into the customer experience, and we have a little video just to kind of show what people feel when they're going through a certain customer experience with a particular company. And it's really important to understand that what we do needs to, we need to make our partners or our customers or whoever we interact with feel great and feel good. So this video will kind of show you what not to do, and you know, what people do feel when they're interacting with different companies. So take a look.
Let's go to a bank for a moment that I experienced many years ago. I go to this bank, to this big bank. Let's go together and experience service so you can internalize what it really is. We go to the bank. It was a huge bank. I was supposed to speak to them the next day, to their 200 managers, about customer satisfaction. So the day before, I thought I'm going to go to that bank. Huge bank, big portals, huge. You walk in, you could feel the money, columns. Yeah, marble columns, marble floor. Maybe even money stuffed in the columns, who knows? And you could feel it, stately and beautiful around you. Beautiful around you. And then over there, long counter, mahogany, the tellers. And in front of it, a maze. Now, I'm sure you have been in that maze too before. So I'm getting into the maze. I count the people before me. I count the tellers. 24 people in front of me. A huge counter, 24 tellers. Oh, good, I'm number 2. And so slowly I'm getting in front. Now, mind you, let me remind you what service is. Welcome, comply, farewell. That's what service is. So I'm looking left, and somebody on the right screams, next! Oop. And I go over. In the meantime, was a lady, men are usually worse. Let me be very, very clear about it. Was a lady, she was looking down for seconds to finish a transaction. I look at her face, I don't know her, she cannot know me. But when she looked up, it was totally clear that she hated me. And she said yes, and she said yes. And I said, I just want to change $50. And she said, 10, 20, 40, 45, 50, next. I take my product. You see, change was my product. I looked at it. No defect. Timeliness was very excellent. Caring was not. What do you think I remembered? The fact that I had proper change? I mean, and here you are. In this case, isn't it a fact that service, look at it in this way, isn't the fact that service is your product? Certainly in a case like that. So why do we have processes, all kind of processes to produce all kind of things? I'm sure the transactions were careful thought. There were processes behind everything, but there was no process about the whole huge, most important part of the product, service. What if she would have said, the next gentleman, please? When I come to a teller, and she says, welcome, sir, how may I help you? Just want to change $50. My pleasure, 10, 20, 45, 50, have a great day, thank you for coming by. Bang! No more work, no more words, everything but a satisfied customer instead of a dissatisfied customer.
So, hope you enjoyed that little tidbit, but again, service is really important. How you make people feel, and what we do here at Roma, what our team strives to do is make sure that we're building those relationships and making sure that our partners feel great when they interact with us, and that, again, that we care. So unless you have 100% customer satisfaction, you must improve, because we know we're not perfect either. So we have, areas of improvement. We ask for feedback, and we're always looking for how do we do better. So I want to get into a few statistics that we use in order to measure how we're servicing our partners through different channels. So the first one is how we service our partners through our phone system or through the calls when they're calling in. So the first one is average speed of answer. So average speed of answer is how long our partners are waiting to speak with one of our customer care specialists. On average, obviously there's some busy times, sometimes where it's not so busy, but on average, how fast are we answering those phone calls? So right now, we're sitting at 58 seconds. So we're striving for a target of 50, so not too bad. We're a little bit past what we need to be, but I think that's pretty good. Our team works really hard to make sure that they're answering those calls as soon as they come in, to make sure that we're not letting our partners wait a long time to speak with one of our team members. The next one is PECs are what we like to refer to as personal emotional connections. So personal emotional connections, for those of you tuning in that are not sure what those are, our team interacts with many different partners, many different people, and they strive to build relationships or try to build a rapport with who they're speaking with. And sometimes on the phone call, they connect with our partners in a special way, or they hear about a special upcoming show that's coming up, or something important that happened in that partner's life at the moment, or they connected at some way or another with our partner. Doesn't have to be through the phone, could be through email as well, or through our chat system. And our team member will take their time to write out a little handwritten note on a card, decorate it, and we'll put it in the mail, just the old-fashioned way, and send it to them. And a lot of our partners, when they receive it, it's like, wow, they took the time to, think about me, and this really made my day. And they'll call us and let us know how happy they felt when they received it. Well, this number of 167, year to date, we've already sent 167 personal emotional connection cards to our partners. So great job, customer care team, on connecting. And the last one is our external Net Promoter Score survey that we conduct several times throughout the year, where we ask our partners for feedback. Because we believe feedback's a gift, and we always want to make sure that we're asking our partners, how are we doing today? What are we doing well? What do we need to work on? Because the feedback is what's going to allow us to make any necessary changes to grow and to get better. So we do give ourselves a target of 90%. And what the 90% represents is how many of our partners would recommend Roma to their family and friends. So on this last survey that we conducted earlier this year, we have a result of 86%. So although, we're not at our 90, I think we're doing really good. We did receive a lot of feedback on, how we can improve, what we're doing well at, how our partners are feeling about us, and we're going to take that feedback, share it with the proper teams, and develop processes to grow and to get better. So with that, we get a lot of our customers telling us how they feel. So I want to share one particular feedback that we did receive from one of our partners. We received it from Virginia from Farrell's Frame and Design. Here's what she had to say about us.
I thank and applaud all involved at Roma for their patience, persistence, and prompt action. A job well done. Although your job is, I'm sure, quite challenging at times, each time I call and you answer, it is always an extremely pleasant experience.
Thank you, Virginia. We always value the feedback from many of our partners, and we know that it's taking time out of your day. So we do thank you, everybody, for conducting the surveys and providing that feedback, because that's how we're going to get better. So now I want to move into what have we been up to, what are we doing, where are we going. So the first thing, as Tony mentioned, we did upgrade and launch our new website on January the 16th. Phenomenal for those of you that have been on it. I'm sure a lot of partners tuning in have already been on it. A lot of different features that we didn't have before, a lot smoother experience placing orders. There's a lot new products that you can place orders now that you couldn't before. So we're really excited about that. And I'm proud to be part of the team that helps develop and improve this website. So we're continually looking to see, again, the friction that Tony talked about, or any challenges that anyone might be facing, or any little tweaks that we need to make, or anything that, people would like to see on our website. So I'm part of that, and we're working on, improving it and making it better. The next thing is process improvements. So process improvements, with the feedback that we're receiving, we're working on developing new processes in place internally to help create that better experience for our partners. We're adding new processes to make sure that when our partners call in, or when there is a little bit of challenges or something, a bump in the road, that we create a process to make it smoother for their future experience with us. And the last thing is customer excellence training. So we have implemented a 10-month training program this year for our customer care team to do refresher training on soft skills, on the website, and how to interact with our partners, or product knowledge, anything new that's coming up, so that we can always keep our skills sharpened and always bring that customer service up to the next level. So thank you, everybody, for listening to me, and it's a pleasure being here. And if anyone and partners online, you can always reach me at tferraro@romamolding.com for any feedback. So now I want to call up Michael Pilata.
Great. Thank you, Tanya. Let's hear it again for Tanya. Great job, Tanya. Well, wow, we're back live. It's been a while, but it's great to be back up here. You can feel the energy in the crowd. Today, I'll be talking about two segments of our business. I'll be touching upon operations as well as finance. And today, as I talk about these segments, I'll be talking a bit about our past, what we've completed in 2022, what we're currently doing in 2023, and what the future holds. Let's dig into some stats. So 5.6 million linear feet. That's how much us as a collective team here at Roma have shipped in 2022. That's a huge accomplishment. Each and every one of you should be very proud, should pat each other on the back, and should give each other a big round of applause. That's a huge accomplishment. Talking about teamwork, that's BPS is getting the order, talking to our partners. That's customer care agents entering the order. That's the operations team producing the order, packaging the order, shipping the order. That's also the admin team invoicing, as well as finance, collecting, and reconciling accounts. So collective teamwork, that's us here at Roma, and we love to do it day in and day out. And I know that in 2023, we're going to surpass that number. So great job. Another large number, 5.7 million. What does this represent? It represents the linear feet that we currently have in stock company-wide. That is Roma's philosophy, to continue to reinvest back into the company. That's over 1 year's worth of inventory supply. And thank you to the supply chain team for ensuring that we continue to have our inventory levels at a level sustainable to meet our partners' demands and requests. We're going to have challenges day in and day out. There will be some back orders, some stock outs, but we're talking 5.7 million feet available to our partners for their demands and requests. 40,000 corner samples shipped year to date. That's since January, 2.5 months. Again, huge number. I know Tony mentioned earlier in the show that we did 35,000 of this relates to the new products, but 40,000 in total corner samples. So kudos to the corner sample department. I know that by the end of the year, this number is going to be probably above and beyond 100,000. And it's important that we continue getting our corner samples out to our partners so that they can display it on their walls to continue that stream of revenue for Roma. Our production lead times. Again, we publicize this internally and externally. Our length is at 1 day. Our joint frames at 3 days. And chops, which in previous shows was at 2 days, is now down to 1 day. And I'll explain in a few minutes how we got that down to 1 day. We have our corner samples at 25 and our photo frames at 15. We also have mirrors at 15 and art fulfillment at 25. So how do we get that chop down from 2 days to 1 day? Well, we've implemented a pilot project here in Canada where we've changed some of the shift work for our employees. We've gone to a 4-day, 10-hour shift work per week. We're trying that out in Canada. And what we're doing is we're trying to front load some of the hours to try to bring our lead times down. Because as a partner, they want to get their product in their hands quicker. And as a company, we want to make sure our partners are being satisfied with that. We want to get those products in their hands as quickly as possible. So we've done a pilot test here in Canada. Carmine and myself will be analyzing the data to see how we're progressing and to see whether or not we want to roll that out to the company-wide. So we'll keep you informed on that. Our fill rate, again, is the percentage of orders that are completed, filled, and delivered on time. We've set our goal this year for 2023 at 90%. We are currently company-wide at 88%. Yes, we're a little short, 2% off the mark, but still, that's a great number. Being 2.5 months in, we're already at 88%, and I know that by the end of the year, we'll be beyond that 90% goal. I'm very confident in our team that we'll hit that goal and surpass that goal. So great job to everyone. You can see over the prior years where we've been at. In 2020, we were at 85. We took a dip in 2021 down to 76. We started climbing back up last year to 84, and we're currently sitting at 88. So we're doing a great job there. This is another KPI that we're looking at, which is a production fill rate, which is slightly different. And this is strictly relating to the production of our orders. So once we get the order and then we have the inventory available to fill that order, are we able to get it out in time? And we've broken it down by departments here, by warehouses. You can see headquarters is at 96%. LA is at 99, just slightly over our goal, which is great for them, excellent to them. Our goal here is at 98%. Our New Jersey department is at 95%. A little short, but I'm sure they'll get there. And Atlanta is currently at the goal at 98%. So again, great job to all the warehouses for hitting that goal or being very close to that goal. Our production return rate, again, a new number, a new KPI. And this is relating to returns that are strictly due to production mishaps, production errors. So this is what we call a direct return ratio. Our goal we set for 2023 is 2%. We're currently at 1.7%. So we're in the green of 0.3%. So again, great job to everyone on achieving this goal. You can see over the years, a lot higher back in 2020 at 2.06%. And we've come down since then and sitting currently at 1.71%. Again, by warehouse, you can see headquarters 1.54. LA is at 1.87. New Jersey slightly above the 2% mark, but I know that New Jersey will bring that down. And Atlanta is down at a whooping low of 1.42. We've been spending a lot of time in this area over the past couple of years. I know that it's a bit tedious because we're taking pictures, we're having to sign off on the quality, and it gets a little frustrating because there's a little bit work involved. But at the end of the day, we're looking at the outcome and the results and the cost savings, because by reducing our return rate, there is cost savings. And there's also minimizing the dissatisfaction of our partners. I mean, I don't think anyone wants to receive a product that has an issue with it and having to go through that to return it. So we're doing our best proactively to try to keep that number down. And as I said, I know it's a bit tedious, but again, great job to the team and keep up the great work. So capital investments. It's very important as a company in order to grow that we continue to always reinvest into the company. Reinvest back in whether it's capital equipment, whether it's reinvesting back into our people or into the culture of the company. As Tony mentioned, here at headquarters, we've introduced some new machinery, packaging machine, a gunner, a few other items. And our intent is to continue to grow. And in order to grow, we need these items. We need to get into the next level, into the next segment. We're also looking at expanding our facilities across the continent. We know here we've expanded the art fulfillment shop here and in Los Angeles, and we're looking in the future to expand that in other facilities as well, as that is the new market segment that we're going after. Leasehold improvements. As I mentioned earlier, in other all-hands meeting, we've signed numerous leases throughout the past year or so. And I'm also happy to announce that we've also committed to New Jersey and signed a long-term lease. And that's what we're doing. We're signing long-term leases in all our facilities. Why? Because we're committed not only to the industry, but we're committed to our employees as well. That Roma is going to be here for a long time. And in so doing, by signing these long-term leases, we're also able to achieve some leasehold improvements with our landlords. We're able to negotiate them. As I mentioned, Atlanta, we had a few leasehold improvements, and New Jersey is currently underway with their leasehold improvements. New lighting in the warehouse, new washrooms, new lunchroom, new office. So I thank Brian and the team in New Jersey for their patience. I know it's been a little challenging over the past several weeks going through the construction. But kudos to you and the team as you continue to ensure that our process, our production does not get affected or altered in any way. Oh, sorry, let's go back. Repeat. There we are. Team cross-training. Another important KPI that we've introduced in 2023 with all the DC leaders. This is going to be very important for Roma as a company, and that is to cross-train all our employees as much as possible. I know you've all seen in the warehouse the skills matrix board that the DC leaders have set up, and we're going to be monitoring that on a daily, on a weekly, on a monthly basis. We want to ensure that each and every one of you are cross-trained as much as possible, And that's twofold. That's one, to better the company, but it's also on a personal note, to develop yourself personally as well, and to ensure that there's a safe environment, that if we are requesting you to do a specific duty or job, that you're not putting yourself at risk in any manner. At this point, I'd like to call up Ross to discuss a bit about supply chain. Ross?
Thank you, Michael. It's my pleasure to be back up here again talking about supply chain. Back in our last all hands meeting, I mentioned that as a supply chain team, we were working diligently with our partners, our manufacturing partners in Italy. We had indicated that there were certain processes and certain protocols that we had put in place. And I'm happy to announce that we've taken those steps even further now. We now have our manufacturing suppliers providing us with actual production dates, whether it's next week, 3 weeks, 5 weeks. We now know when our product is going to be produced. This will allow us to make better decisions when it comes to molding destinations. Using current inventory levels, we'll be able to determine which DC needs what item and how much of it. This now is what we keep saying. We need to have the right molding in the right place at the right time. Box quantities. For those that have been fortunate enough to be on the new Roma website, you'll notice some of the new updates we've got. One of them in particular is we now indicate the box quantity on all of our Simply Roma product. We believe that by having this up there, it will allow our partners to take advantage of our box pricing program. It'll allow them to order on a more accurate manner to help them better take care of their customers' needs and their customers' projects. Stock visibility. Another one of the updates that I am personally excited about is we now have real-time, live, up-to-date inventory levels across all 4 DCs. Our partners no longer have to get on the phone and sit around waiting for somebody to let them know how much stock we have at a certain DC. And that's not to say that we don't want to talk to our partners. We absolutely do want to talk to our partners. But we know how valuable your time is. We know how important it is to you. And I'm sure you would rather be creating some beautiful art than sitting around waiting for a stock level check to be done. At Roma, as great as these updates are, we at Roma we're not content sitting on our laurels. We're always looking to improve. We're always looking to make our partners, our customers, we're always looking at making that experience whenever they're dealing with Roma. We're looking at ways to improve it, to make it more beneficial for them, to make it, I guess, as Tanya had said, that wow. All right, we want to make sure. So in the words, or for those who have seen Jerry Maguire, in the words of Jerry Maguire, also known as Tom Cruise, help me help you. So in this case, help us help you. So I encourage all of my co-workers across all 4 DCs. I encourage the BPSs. I encourage our partners. And I encourage my manufacturing partners overseas to please provide feedback, provide any suggestions that we can to make your user experience a lot nicer, a lot better. We are open to suggestions. So please reach out to us. Let us help you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ross. Let's hear it again for Ross. Great job, Ross. I think Ross missed his calling. I think, Ross, I hear Tom Cruise's agent calling. I think he wants you to fill in for him in the next Mission Impossible. So I'm almost done here. A few more minutes of your time. Just want to briefly touch upon finance. In 2022, Roma performed well. We did quite well in 2022. As you can see here, our revenue growth exceeded the numbers from 2021. Kudos to the sales team led by Tanya and Lloyd and all the BPSs. And we're looking to continue that upward trend in 2023. Our expenditures, our 2022 numbers came in below or at budget, depending on several departments, but overall, great job to all the leaders on minimizing our costs and ensuring that we continue to stay within budget. Anastasia's looking at me, hoping that I can increase her budget for 2023, but we'll discuss that after. But we have started working on the 2023 budget. We've almost finalized that. And again, we'll continue to monitor our costs, ensure that we stay within our budgeted numbers. Finally, I know that I'm sure through media, through discussions you have with your family or friends, etc. And as Tony mentioned earlier, the global economy has been slightly fragile over the past several months with inflation and interest rates continue to increase. Hopefully they'll stabilize. But I can assure you as I stand here that Roma continues to be financially sound. We continue to reinvest in the company, which is very important. We continue to reinvest in equipment, as I mentioned, in our people, in the culture of the company. And I'm very confident that 2023 will be another strong year. So on behalf of myself, and I'm sure the other leaders, we'd like to thank each and every one of you for the great work of 2022 and looking forward to another great year of 2023. So thank you again for your time. And at this time, I'd like to call Anastasia up to the stage.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Thank you for that intro, Michael. So I want to just give you guys a little walk through culture and talent over the last few months. Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. So first and foremost, I want to walk you guys through my journey over the last, I guess, 10 months that I've been at Roma. It's been a long time, 10 months. It's been a lot of fun. Challenging, of course, but in the best possible way. I feel like I've experienced personal and professional growth over the last 10 months that I haven't experienced in a very long time. And as a culture and talent leader, my two main focuses is culture and talent, of course. So from the culture side, I have to be the ambassador of the culture. So I have to represent the 10 family core values. I have to represent our culture. And along with the culture team, we have focused on, various events, various initiatives, showcasing our culture through our social media, through anybody that basically walks through our door. And on the talent side, I'm responsible for both seeking and recruiting talent that's going to fit our culture and live by our family core values, but also nourish the current talent that we have here. So and again, along with the culture team, we have been very successful at that, giving you guys awesome events. And it's been such a pleasure getting to know all of you and building deeper, meaningful relationships with you guys. And I mean, even getting to know the leadership team and building closer relationship with the leadership team. I got to participate in my first ever leadership conference, which was such an inspiring and amazing and fun few days. And I can't wait to see what, the next 10 months or the next year, the next 2 years, next 3 years, hopefully, will bring. Now, I will draw your attention to the internal Net Promoter Score. Now, this measures the willingness of our team members to recommend us to their family and friends. So these are the results from the last Pulse survey, which was taken at our last All Hands, AHM 36. So we hit our goal of 90%, which is amazing. Thank you guys for that. You guys, thank you so much. And again, you guys can visit our website, romamolding.com, to see all of our careers that we have. We are always looking for great people to join our great team. We currently have 4 career openings, so you guys can visit our website to see those. And Core Value Awareness Week. It's coming up on March 27th, the week of March 27th. And for those of you who do not know what Core Value Awareness Week is, it's a week that we dedicate solely to bringing awareness to our 10 family core values, where we show appreciation and gratitude for one another using these core values. And the last Core Value Awareness Week, we set out to deliver 850 core value cards, and we hit that goal and surpassed it by basically over 50%. So we delivered 1,306 core values company-wide, which is fantastic. So now I challenge you guys to surpass that goal this upcoming Core Value Awareness Week and deliver 1,500 core value cards across the whole entire company. Who thinks they can do it, guys? Woo, come on. And now I would like to show you a few photos from our latest team events. And for those of you who want to see more photos, we are constantly uploading all of our photos to our Facebook page, Team Roma. Here are some of the latest posts on there. And we like to draw some spotlights on our team members, post all of our photos from all of our events. So if you guys haven't already joined, please speak to myself or the culture team, and we will get you up on there. And as you all know, at the end of the All Hands, we kindly ask you to complete an anonymous survey because we truly believe that feedback is a gift. And we use your feedback to better ourselves, to better the company. So your leaders will have the info and the links on getting that completed. And lastly, Roma Burger Smash, our 8th annual. We just had it last week, and it was our biggest one to date. We raised over $550 company-wide, and over close to 30 members participated, which is incredible. Here's a little video from the HQ one. After seeing that video, how many of you guys want to participate next year? Yes. And at this time, I would like to bring Tony back to the stage. Thank you so much, guys.
Hey, folks, let's give it up for Anastasia, everybody. Let's give it up. Yeah, so I want to take just a simple note as we wind down this all hands meeting. Maybe if we could take a moment It's been 3.5 years since we had an all hands meeting live. That seems like a short time, but it's 3.5 years since we've done this. And folks, it's not easy to come up here with these lights in your face and your colleagues, and it's live, and your mom's watching, and the kids, and everybody, to stand up here and speak to the team. So let's give a handout for a round of applause. Well done. Well done. All right, as we zoom through the last little while, I don't want to step over it, but I want to talk about where this all started. We never used to have this much fun. We never used to have, I think you said the number was 30 plus? 31? Just under 30. So let's say just about 30 people join in. And while this is our Canadian team, we had some U.S. team members, had some really good, and their scores are really good too. So we're going to ask to do those in video next time so we can get them in on the action. But folks, this is where it started on this happy day. Yep. This, the person on the right still has the same hairstyle, as he just alluded. You remember Joey, obviously my cousin, and obviously myself. I was a bit of a rebel. I didn't wear a tie that day. But I remember days where if we didn't wear a tie, we got sent home. If a skirt was too high, you got sent home. Like, the world has vastly changed. And I like to believe we're at the front of leading that change. Isn't that great? Isn't that great to be the leader? Yeah. Because this is who we are today. Like, so whenever I go do a deck or a presentation, typically people, they're all, very serious, and I usually show up either in my t-shirt or some other swag, because that's all I wear, because I'm so proud of the company and the team. And then I show images like this. This is who we are. This is who's going to join your frames. This is who's going to touch them up. This is who's going to package them. This is the care they're going to do. And they kind of look at me. And I say, yes, they're crazy, but they're my posse. They're my team. These are the people who believe anything is possible. This is the team that'll bring 30 plus people, or just about 30 people, to smash a burger in the least. When I tell people that we do burger smash, like, what does that mean? Do you smash? Like, what do you? No, we ingest it. We bring it down the throat without throwing up. And they're like, why do you do it? Oh, just for charity. And they're like, usually you clean parks for charity, or you donate, we do burger smash because we're different, right? But the reality is I couldn't be more proud of the men and women who do these sorts of things. And folks, culture isn't built by a foosball table. It's not built by fancy slides, as many corporations have, and they claim to have, really great cultures, and they win these awards, which half of them are fake anyways, and they buy. Culture's built in things like this. You can't talk about culture. You got to be in action around culture. We have these culture speakers who will go around the world, talk about how they should do it, and they've never done it. Folks, we are doing it. We are it. We're ramping up tours. People want to come in and see how, who are these humans? What are you injecting into them? We don't inject nothing. We just hire the best people. We hire people who are aligned with our values, who believe anything is possible, who move, inspire, and wow, who are obsessed about customer service, who love what they do. I would love that. That was nice. Perfect timing. But I love how far we've come, guys. And this is not a one-man show or one-woman show. This is not about a leadership team. This is about a group of people, a group of crazies. And whether you're in LA, and I know you guys are watching, I love you guys, or whether you guys, and by the way, I'm coming out to see you in LA. I think it's April 30th or something like that. So we're gonna do lunch. So just make sure you don't eat for a day. I want to treat you to lunch. And then to our awesome team in New Jersey, who I had the pleasure of seeing, and they're undergoing major renovations there. They deserve it. Those men and women in New Jersey work their butt off. And so we're bringing them up to the next level. And our awesome team in Atlanta, beautiful humans in Atlanta. We have just remarkable team there as well. And our amazing sales team who do it all with passion, sprinkled across Canada and the United States. And so I salute you all. But moving forward, things like this was a dream. And I'm going to go back, okay? I want to go back. I shouldn't be doing this. But right here, and we videoed this, I made a pledge. Just 12, 13 years ago. I hope I haven't aged that much. But I made a pledge because I didn't love what the company was. I didn't love why I did what I did. Remember, I told you that. And I said, listen, I want to change this. I don't want to be the complainer in the room. I want to be the man in action to change it. And not only for myself, but for all of us. Like, it's better for all of us. And the pledge I made, we're not going to be the best. Sorry, we're not going to be the biggest, or we're not going to reach for this. We want to be the best company to work for in Canada. And, you know, a few hundred burgers later, you know, because of all of you, we won Great Places to Work this year. Let's give a round of applause, everybody. And we didn't win it, you know, because of a foosball table. We won it because of our heart and who we are as people. And this for me is like Super Bowl. And I don't care, like I don't put it in my house or anything. And by the way, I don't have a trophy in my house, but this exemplifies who we are. This just already told me we have great people. This should be, find the company with the greatest people and then watch their output. It's very easy. Find the greatest people, mesh them together, create a sandbox, allow them to fail, allow them to learn, allow them to grow, inspire the crap out of them, move, inspire, and wow them, and then bingo. Now, they say an overnight success is usually 10 years. That was 12 years ago, 13 years ago. So I'm super proud of the accomplishments and how far we've come. And then we had a little celebration, which I think was nice. It wasn't over, like we didn't go over the top, and I think we celebrated in the various different distribution centers. So just take a look. Give me some volume, guys. Give it up for everybody, guys. So great place to work. So, you know, as you know, when you imagine you win the Super Bowl, the next day, what do you say? You have another ring, because you get a ring, right? So what do you say? All right, we're done. Let's put her down. You know, we're good. We can lose next year. We won. No, I'm working with Anastasia, with the leadership team. We're like, what's next? I don't know what's next. All I do know is that we're going to reach higher. We're going to challenge ourselves even more. And I think Tanya or Michael said, you know, it's hard at times. And it is. And we get into it. Like, I don't know, the other week, I don't know when Michael ate in the morning, but we were going at it. And going at it like I don't know if it was brotherly love and he was going at it with Tanya and Teresa. And I'm like, dude, what'd you eat this morning? But it's all like, and you know what? It was all passion. And he was frustrated about why we don't do a certain thing on back orders because it doesn't give a good customer. And I'm like, and I stepped back. And I'm like, Mike, chill it out. But then I stepped back and I said, the guy cares like crazy. And Tanya and Teresa weren't like, hey, what an ass. They were like, he cares like crazy. And they then, you know, went at him because Teresa and Tanya are pretty vicious too. Would you agree? Yeah, right? They may be, Tanya's like 4.5 feet, but she's like 5. Appreciate it. 5.5 with heels. And I've seen them. We've partied together. All right, we'll leave it there. Yeah, it's just beautiful to see. And how do you beat a team? How do you beat a team like that? How do you beat a team like us who cares about one another, who's going to challenge each other, who's going to say, well, that's good, but what does great look like? Like I called Dave this morning. I get intelligent search, Dave, but I want to press a button and say, I want a black floater at $1 in wood, white. Go. He's like, it's possible. I'm like. Then he said, it's possible, but I didn't hear the but. All I heard was, it's possible, because typically what you hear is, oh, that's impossible. What we get is, yeah, that's totally doable. And then he's like, okay, but Tony, you have like 4,000 things you want to do before that one. And I'm like, you're right. But that's how you achieve these things. There's no simple magic wand. Put the slide and give everybody paid this and buy them drinks and buy them Red Bulls, and that shit wears off really fast. Free food, that wears off really how you make people feel. And we alluded it with Tanya, how we make our customers feel. Culture in Latin means to care. Imagine what happens when you care. Care about the customer, care about the product, care about one another. It's simple. So, moving along, talking about caring. What a nice way to open up our Core Value Awards. We do Core Value Awards every all hands meeting 3 times a year. And Core Value Awards are awards by you, so voted by the people for the people. I have nothing to do with this. Our leadership doesn't have anything to do with this. You guys voted. Are you guys ready? Yeah. Let's try that again. Are you guys ready? Yeah. All right. So your first Core Value Award winner, give it up for Ross Calderola.
Ross Calderola is core value number 3. Be different, have fun, and deliver happiness. Ross always finds small ways to spread a funny joke and make everyone laugh. He's one of a kind and always comes in the room with a smile on his face and something funny to say. His presence, positivity, and uplifting attitude always makes everyone's day. We love you, Ross.
Let's give it up for Ross, guys. Okay. Let's give a huge round of applause for our next Core Value Award winner. Here we go. And it's Arlene Rendon. Let's give it up. She's from the ATL, our Atlanta Distribution Center. Here's what our team there had to say about her.
I would like to acknowledge Arlen Rendon in Atlanta for core value number 10, love learning and persuade growth and development. Although not here a year yet, Arlen is like a human sponge. She's been working primarily in chop QC and chop wrapping. She's come into learning the wedge machine and how to assist in samples, as well with sample labels and Velcro. Arlen has also learned how to pick sticks for chops and the reverse in placing unused sticks back to their proper bin. Thank you, Arlen. You are a true example of core value number 10.
Let's give it up, everybody. And last but certainly not least, put your hands together for Jessica Romero. Here's what you had to say.
Jessie Romero is a great ambassador of core value number 4. Build a positive team and family environment. She truly personifies this core value. Not only did she turn the entire atmosphere of the art shop around when she started, she also streamlined operating procedures, created a sense of organization, rhythm, and flow to the room, which in turn increased productivity by over 15% last year. Her laugh is infectious and can lighten even the darkest moments, and she wants nothing but the best for her team, showing guidance, compassion, and concern. Thanks, Jessie, for being such a great part of our team.
And you might be, customers might be questioning why are they winning? Why, or people out there why are they winning? We put signs out here reminding people to smile. It's because of folks like this, and I hope that we adorn, and we've been doing this for a while, so maybe getting stats on this. But if you see somebody, don't wait for an all-hands meeting. If you see somebody really going the extra mile and doing something in alignment with the core values, nominate them. And come to Anastasia, nominate them. Let us know who they are, because this is voted by you. So it's not like we concede anything. This is by you, for you. So let's give it up once again for everybody, guys. Okay, so we can end the all-hands meeting here, but we're not. So just bear with me for a few minutes. I have one more thing that I want to talk about at this all-hands meeting. It brings me great joy to stand on this stage in front of you with the highest level of accountability, talking about all the wins we've been doing. We also show where, some deficiencies are, and that's okay. We need to keep striving higher. Tanya talked about customer service. How are we pushing the next service experience at Roma? I don't know, but it's going to be fun. It might be hard, but it's going to be worth it. And we talked about operations, and with Mike and the gang of amazing leadership who are challenging their own conventional wisdom. I could speak for Toronto. There's always something moving. A table's moving. A machine is moving. It's being altered, and we're always getting better. One thing that always strikes me is people think success is this beautiful straight line. It's just sunshine and rainbows. Success looks like a hot mess. It's 3 steps forward, 2 steps back, a punch in the face here, a kick to the knee here, a celebration here. But net, as you go through, as long as you're moving forward, that's the key. And I'm, I live by the adage that progress equals happiness. Think about your life. If you're progressing in life, and it doesn't have to be this beautiful, as long as you're progressing in life, you'll feel a sense of happiness. And that's all we're meant to feel at the end of the day. And I don't care what your creed is. I don't care where you live. I don't care if you're under communist rule. I don't care if you're under socialist rule. I don't care if you're in Canada or China or Africa. I don't care. And you know that about me. I don't care about your skin color. I don't care about anything. I think we're all created equal under God. And the reason I say this is because life is short. And I talked about this early on, and you know, that video is just, it hits me. The video of the teen just grinding it out. Because you choose in life. You choose to either make a difference, keep going forward, progressing, feeling happy, or you don't. And I just hope today that not only that you take away some of the great accolades and some of the great things that have been said about one another, and that's really important, but that you take away and you might take an extra step tonight at the dinner table or with your wife or with your kids and really say, what could we be doing different to have a different result? Or am I moving forward, or am I going in the right direction? Just become intentional in that. Just the act of being intentional can shift your whole life. It doesn't have to be this monumental Tony Robbins 5-day thing. Just be intentional. And stop the mundane. Shut the TV off. Shut the fear off. Shut the propaganda off. Stay with yourself. What can you do different? And you guys know Roma Wish is near and dear to my heart. We started Roma Wish about 8 years ago. Outside of COVID, we stopped for 1 year because obviously the world closed. But over the years, some of my most best memories were entrenched. This is our first mission in Haiti. We got to work with this lovely human being who's in the middle there, who went to Haiti to help she went to go help her daughter for 2 weeks and never left. She's like, I got to make a difference for the kids that I serve. And today she feeds over 400 people a day, all little children. It's their only meal. Like, she's brought in an orphanage and she adopted all the kids. And for some that don't have birthdays, they celebrate it on Canada Day because they don't have records. They don't have birth certificates. How are we making a difference? You know, we've had various different missions around North America and the world. It's been a lot of fun, a lot of memories being made. We've served kids in Detroit. We've been in the Appalachian Mountains. We've been in New York City in the soup kitchens. We've been in Haiti. This was when we did our mission in Atlanta. That was incredible. We got to spend some time with the gang there. This is when we were mucking and gutting, and I'd never forget that. Lloyd, I know you're watching. Lloyd had the ugliest job. He had to go in a hazmat suit. The guy was soaked. I'd never forget that. We served in a soup kitchen making meals for the elderly who can't feed themselves. Like, it was incredible. And whether it's community outreach and whatever have you, and this one here is an incredible story of this man. He was 80 years old at the time, and his house got flooded about 4 feet and had nowhere to turn. And here we are. We didn't know him, and they said, you go there, you help this gentleman, and you gut his house and you fix it up. He became family instantly. We gave him Roma swag. We were hugging, and we called him Uncle Mike after a while. It was really cool. But I want you to get something. You can go through life just doing the mundane, or you could step back, get uncomfortable, and live a remarkable life. It's up to you. I can't force you to do that. I could be the beacon, I could be the guy reminding you, but you need to take that step. And it's not so much a step in Roma Wish, but just being intentional about your life. And so, as part of the surveys that you guys are so awesome, thank you for filling out the surveys for us. That's the only way we really get a pulse as to what's happening. We're not mind readers. So I know Anastasia has the surveys after. If you could fill them out, please fill them out. But your feedback was, Tony, I love Roma Wish, specifically to Roma Wish. I love Roma Wish. I love you guys give back. By the way, all our swag that we're wearing, 100% of the proceeds go to Roma Wish, whether it's kids or community outreach or elderly, whatever it is. So please support as much as you can, because the funds go there. But as a result of your feedback, we're creating something different this year. So instead of 8 people or 10 people going on a mission to, let's say, I don't know, Wyoming, or I don't know, Chicago or Toronto or North Bay or wherever, because some of you said, Tony, I can't take 5 days out of my life because I have kids or I have elderly parents, I've got to support this or that, and I totally get it. And this year what dawned on me is, how are we listening to those people? Because there's a lot of you that want to help, want to be part of this, but you can't do it. And I get it. Again, it's not even an excuse. I get it. And so, folks, what we created was something called Roma Day. And we just called it Roma Day. And it's our mission for 2023. It gives everybody an opportunity to partake in this mission in 2023. So if you're watching this and you're in Atlanta or Jersey or LA, or you're in Texas, or you're here in Toronto, everybody can partake in Roma Day. I don't have all the details, but here's what I do have. I have great intention. And I was talking with Anastasia and a few others. Roma Day is going to be a day that we create. You're able to pick a day that serves you. So let me give you an example. If you always wanted to serve in a soup kitchen, or you always wanted to do a food bank, or you always wanted to do that thing, Roma's going to pay you that day to go do that thing in hopes you make a better day or a better, feeling for somebody else. We'll have the details flushed out. We trust you guys. It's not like you're going to take the day off and watch Netflix. We know you're not doing that. We're over that. That was 15 years ago. We're trusting everybody. We're going to figure it out. We're going to get a snap. Think about this vision. We're all going to get a snap of, oh my God, Michael helped the elderly. He was working in some elderly capacity, or Ross, decided to support a local food bank, or Tanya, a local food bank, or Brian, a local food bank, or Jessica, or Brannon, or Tanya, or whoever. And so some of the ideas we have, maybe you want to do community outreach, maybe you want to be part of an organization already ganged towards cleaning up a certain area of the city, and you just want to be there to support. We're going to give you that opportunity. We're going to pay you the day, so it's not going to touch you at all, because we believe in making a difference. You could talk about making a difference, or you can get in action about making a difference. And I hope today that we've inspired you, not only through the acts of our company and our accolades and the beautiful things people say about us and the hard work day in, day out the men and women of this company are doing to achieve, results that, by the way, the competitors wish they can achieve. But we're here to make a difference. Because at some point in all our lives, the lights will turn out. They'll close. And I just want to be a reminder that before it does, our mission here on earth is to make a bit of a difference, even if it's small difference, but make that difference. And I hope through Roma Day, we're creating that opportunity, because Roma Wish is near and dear to my heart. And I hope as I age well into, my older years, I could look back and say, wow, as a result, we did 55 missions. We supported 280,000 people. We did, because what's living if you can't look back and say, did you make a difference? Because you're not going to say, I don't know, I made an extra X, or I bought this extra pillow, or I was able to buy that big screen TV, and that's fine. But it's not going to fill your tank when you're sitting there on your last days. It's not. You're going to remember all the great things. No one ever, and this is a quote, I'm not making this up, no one ever on their deathbed said, I should have worked harder, or I should have been at work more. No, they're like, I should have spent time with my family. I screwed up. And I just don't want you to live with regrets. Living a life of regret is crappy. It doesn't need to be. And so I'm not here to cure everybody's challenges, but we're here to say, we're listening to you. We're here to say, as a result of your feedback, we created Roma Day for you. So you can take it any day this year. And Anastasia will flesh out what that looks like. But we want you to partake so that in All Hands Meeting 39 in November, we can share all the great differences we made in the world. Because believe it or not, folks, I can tell you this because they've told me direct, this group of people cares. And they are doing things in the community right now that are phenomenal, and they don't want accolades. They're not putting it on social media. They're not doing videos. They're doing it because they intrinsically care. And so what I want to say is, I just want to put a spotlight on these people, because let me tell you, we need to inspire the next group of humans. We need to inspire the next group of youngsters. We need to inspire, and get people in action to otherwise change this world we're living in. You can just complain about it, or you can make a change. This is our little way. Little. But a little goes a long way when it's spread out on 150 people. And so I hope this inspires you today. And I hope this all hands meeting inspires you as you go back to your workstations, as you go, to lunch and talk about it. I hope today we shifted something. I hope it gave you a renewed feel of who we are as a company. It's important to know who you work with and the difference you're making. So on that note, I just want to say thank you for your attention. Thank you to the men and women who make up this great company. I love you all very much. And until next All Hands meeting, I'm Tony Guerreri, signing off. All Hands meeting 37 is done. Thank you.